Because I think that if I were the evil one and I were trying to tempt you away from this pursuit of greatness, I would convince you that egotism, that pride might potentially be your undoing. That's true, right? That's certainly the case. But God has sown in you seeds of greatness precisely so that they might germinate, so that they might flower, so that they might give fruit. And if we pronounce upon those as bad, insofar as there's a little bit of mixed motivation, there's a little bit of impure intention, then we might be foreclosing upon the greatness of God, which is at work in us, provided only that we can see it through to its term. So there's actually a vice which is opposed to magnanimity that's called pusillanimity, which means rather than great souledness, we're talking about small souledness. We contract in on ourselves for fear of what might be asked of us if we take the next step. Because the thing is, like, graces are daisy chained. Not in the sense that, like, when I say yes to this grace, then I get that grace, as if it were like a Goosebumps choose your own adventure type thing, like flip to page 78.
Great reference.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But there's a sense in which when you show yourself faithful to certain graces, there's a conspicuous preponderance of other graces that come in its wake. And you're like, where are these coming from, Jesus? And he's like, hard to say, right? So I think that we need to be at least conscious of this kind of tendency of prevenient and consequent grace, as St. Augustine says, but like the daisy chain of grace, because we can't say, nah, I don't know where this train is going. I don't know where it's going to end, like what the destination is, because no kidding, no kidding, because here's the thing, like charity admits of no upper bound. Okay. So God is infinitely generous. We are infinitely capacious, and charity is infinite. You will become as holy as God makes you. The only antecedent condition to that is that you consent to and cooperate with his grace. Are you going to get in your own way? Absolutely. I'm not surprised by that. You are not surprised by that. None of God's children are surprised by that. Okay. But then you say, Lord, give me the grace that I need to grow, like to heal and to grow beyond this obstacle. Give me the grace that I need to be pure of heart, to be unmixed of intention. I know that it's not going to happen today, but I will a higher state. I will a higher state. And I trust that you, who have promised that it is so, will bring it to completion, because you're the only one who can, because you're the only one who's competent. So, yes.
I think, so the two things that you bring up there is, like, I found so many students, and I'm gonna make a claim out there. I have no scientific or research to actually back this up. It's just my gut that's telling me this. But I've seen so many people that have that failure to launch syndrome because the intended end result is not a guarantee. And I think it plagues men actually a little more than women. Once again, that's where my research falls short. I don't know. That's just me thinking that. But I've seen so many guys that are like, I really like this girl. And it's like, well, they're like, I don't know what to do with it. It's like, I'm talking to her roommate and I'm talking to her best friend. I don't know. Like, I kind of want to ask her out, but I'm not quite sure she's interested. And I was like, I got a fail-safe way. Is 100% fail-proof to figure out whether or not she's interested in you or not. And they're like, what is it? Like, ask her out. If she says yes, she's interested. If she says no, she's not, But there's this like failure to launch into the process unless that end result is a guaranteed for me. And so I'm just going to hold back, hold. And you see, there's so many people that's like, I want to discern the will of God for whatever it may be, a vocation, a project, a job opportunity. I want to know before I launch. It's like, no, you actually have to launch into the process. And that brings up another thing, is like, if we are truly seeking first the kingdom of God and we are pursuing a deep union with Jesus, I think we underestimate how much the Lord actually trusts us. He trusts us more than we trust ourselves. And we can, if we are seeking union with him above all things, then there are times where we have to make that decision. And we can be confident in ourselves and say, I'm striving for a perfect union with Jesus. And in that, my will is to be united to his will. But there are times that I have to make that decision.
Father Gregory.
'Tis I.
How many goldfish did you have growing up?
I think like 3, one mostly at state fairs. They didn't last too long, and I flushed them.
Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Godsplaining.